Good morning, and thanks for being with us on this Sunday morning. It's 9 o'clock. We're glad you're here. I'm glad I'm here. I'm Deborah Choe. Here with me for the first time, making his on-air debut at 9 o'clock this morning is Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Noah Bergen. Noah, you have been doing such a good job. Welcome to the team. I don't know about that. I've been fortunate to have good mentors. Good team behind the scenes here who's helped this week. Everyone here is really great, so you'll love everybody. And our weather is good too. And it's good, and I don't have an excuse anymore being in Florida about my golf game. I've got there you go. Big golfer, if anybody has golf recommendations. Okay, there's tons of golf courses around here, so you'll be in good hands. I have jokingly referred to my golf game like the weather. It's the only thing that's consistently inconsistent, Deborah, the last few years. You're being humble, I'm sure. Well, no, trust me, I am very average golfer. So maybe, now that I'm in Florida, there's no more excuse, because if you can golf in February, I hopefully could get at least a little bit better. But anyway, the weather is fantastic. We've shot under par today with the weather forecast. I don't know if that probably flubbed there. There we go. There's the radar being quiet this morning. We do have some clouds out there today. Here's the view from the radar at Fox 35. The clouds are probably going to be like this through the rest of the day. It actually caused a beautiful sunrise this morning. Likely will cause a beautiful sunset this evening. Temperature 64. South-southwest wind at 7 miles an hour. Here's the view from the Sanford Airport. If you're catching a flight today, any of the Florida airports, the turbulence I checked this morning is pretty light, so you should have a quiet climb out through the lower atmosphere today. Biketoberfest going on the final day. Daytona Beach, 77 at 10 a.m., 81 at 1 o'clock, 76 at 6 in Volusia County. But again, a few clouds, but no rain for today. Pick the town out closest to you. 85 in Clearmont, Leesburg, 85 in Orlando, 84 in Titusville. Pretty typical, maybe a few degrees above what's the average for this time of the year in the Fox 35 coverage area. We've got some changes in the tropics and also strong winds coming in later this week. We'll go through those details a little bit later. Deborah. All right, thanks, Noah. Time now is 9:03. Continuing coverage out of Orlando. Tomorrow, the City Council will vote on a proposal to transform the Pulse nightclub site into a memorial honoring survivors and victims of the shooting. City officials say their first priority is getting the official work done to buy the site. Then they'll move forward with plans for a permanent memorial. Mayor Buddy Dyer says the purchase would end 7 years of discussion over what to do with the property.
Here we are 7 years later, and we feel it's important to honor the victims and to put to rest the idea that a memorial either would not be built or it would be built in a different location.
The City of Orlando will partner with the One Pulse Foundation to build this. If approved by the council, they're expected to close the deal by the end of the month. And happening right now, the search is on for a suspect accused of gunning a woman down in broad daylight. It happened in Orlando on the sidewalk near Curryford Road and Bel Air Avenue. You're seeing some video that we got of the scene. Officers say a man and a woman were walking together when someone who claimed to know them showed up. A short argument broke out, and that's when police say the suspect shot the female in the back, killing her. Now, a resident who lives across the street says he heard the shot and ran outside to see what happened.
I think it was a gentleman maybe, or I don't know, I can't tell, was holding the victim in their arms. And she looked at me from over there and she just said, "Please help."
Now, the suspect ran away from the scene and officers are still looking for him. So if you saw anything or you might know anything, you're encouraged to call Crime Line. Well, time now is 9:05. Right now in Orange County, the search is on for a driver who investigators believe hit a bicyclist and left them to die. The crash happened on the eastbound side of Colonial Drive, which is not far from 3rd Street. Highway Patrol says the bicyclist was crossing the road when they were hit and killed. FHP says a Ford SUV may have been involved and it would have damage to the front right side. Anyone with information is asked to call Crime Line. Well, we have an update this morning. Spirit Airlines is expected to cancel more flights in Orlando today for those extra plane inspections. According to the FAA, the goal of this is to examine several beams that are cracking. Cancellations could last more days because some jets still need to return to service. On Saturday, Spirit canceled at least 33 flights in and out of Orlando. And of course, this is frustrating for passengers, but an aviation expert says that these inspections are necessary.
I realize it's frustrating, but the airline is responsible for your safety first. It could be that it's deferred. We don't have time to do it right now. It's not urgent, and generally it's not, because it's not like it's not an airworthy situation.
Now, across the country, Spirit canceled about 100 flights in recent days, making up about 11% of its scheduled service. Well, time now is 9:06. The latest on the war overseas. This morning, Israeli forces are bombarding the Gaza Strip with airstrikes. Fox's Madeline Rivera looks at the damage and shares how this impacts the call to get more humanitarian aid to that region.
More than 2 weeks into the fighting, Israeli forces are increasing their attacks against Hamas. Israel's military striking a mosque in the West Bank overnight, which they say was being used by Hamas and Islamic Jihad to plan an imminent terror attack. Israeli forces are stepping up their attacks against Hamas ahead of a ground operation in Gaza. They are once again calling on people in Gaza City to move south, saying they need to enter the region under the best conditions.
We will deepen our attacks. We will minimize the dangers to our forces in the next stages of the war.
Meanwhile, the first convoy of critical supplies entered Gaza on Saturday. Dozens of other aid trucks remain at the Rafah border crossing, though there are still concerns Hamas could confiscate future deliveries.
They are going to use all of those resupplies for their military, which is going to be fighting or killing the hostages and civilians that are in that region.
With the humanitarian crisis escalating, Palestinian Americans and other dual nationals have been waiting at the border to leave Gaza. Israeli officials say they're working to secure the right for those with an American passport to cross into Egypt.
Up until now, Hamas is causing problems. From our point of view, anyone who wants to leave with an American passport should be leaving.
The Pentagon says it will send more air defense systems to the Middle East to protect U.S. forces and help Israel's defense. In Jerusalem, Madeline Rivera, Fox News.
Time now is 9:08. A news alert from the Capitol. Tomorrow, House Republicans are expected to meet and discuss a new House Speaker candidate. This all comes after Representative Jim Jordan announced that he's going to drop out of the race. Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz helped lead Kevin McCarthy's oust and served as one of Jordan's biggest supporters.
The most popular Republican in the United States Congress was just knifed by a secret ballot in a private meeting in the basement of the Capitol. It's as swampy as swamp gets, and Jim Jordan deserved better than that.
Republicans are also expected to go before the House floor for a vote on a new candidate this week. Well, time now is 9:09, and look at that. Fireworks lit up the sky around downtown Orlando for the annual Come Out with Pride Festival. This marked the first Pride event in Orlando since the governor signed legislation to prohibit children from attending drag shows. An injunction now blocks that law after Hamburger Mary's filed a lawsuit against the governor and the state. This year, Pride organizers named Hamburger Mary's the Grand Marshal for the event. Many people we spoke with say they love seeing the city of Orlando in a festive spirit.
It's a great vibe. Everybody's having a good time. Love is in the air, so this is what it's about.
Doesn't matter always your beliefs or the way of life. We all pump red blood. We're all different, but we all enjoy life. And this is an example of everybody coming together and having a great time.
Now, Come Out with Pride typically brings about 200,000 people to downtown. Several local politicians and leaders also took part in the parade. All right, time now is 9:10. Let's get a live look at A1A from our Hard Rock camera. As you know, Biketoberfest has been going on all weekend long, and it officially wraps up today in Daytona Beach. According to city officials, close to 100,000 bikers attended the event. 1/3, by the way, of the city's annual revenue comes from this weekend. Well, so to come on Good Day Orlando, junk in space could create some serious problems here on Earth. What scientists are doing to clean up our solar system. Plus, a pair of families struggle with agents at the Sanford Airport, and they brought their concerns to Fox 35. Well, now change is on the way.
Feels really good for the fact that I have fought for 6 years for my son for everything he's needed. And it's just like, for once, this actually might make a difference.
What the TSA plans to do differently going forward. And we're going to check in with Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Noah Bergeron. Hi, Noah.
What's going on, Deborah? After a really busy summer, an active start to fall. We had all that severe weather about 10 days ago. Mama Nature treating us to a nice break. Quiet weather. It's going to continue going forward. How long will it last? We'll talk about the extended forecast after the break.
Welcome back. Time now is 9:14. Here's a live look through our Amway camera this morning. A little bit of a hazy sky, but it's going to be a nice day.
Yeah.
That's on set for this Sunday. Well, before we get to our full weather, we want to take a second to welcome meteorologist Noah Berggren to the Good Day Orlando family. Welcome. Okay. Pictures. We have family
cousin
pictures.
and his girlfriend. We were
Okay.
at Penn State game a few weeks ago.
You
We
went
beat
to Penn
Iowa.
State.
We didn't win yesterday.
Oh.
I have to wear Ohio State something for Amy this week, so maybe
Hey,
next year we don't bet
welcome.
on that.
Yeah,
But
maybe
thank
you don't. Is this your mom?
That's actually my dance partner. I did
Oh.
Dancing for the Stars in Paducah, Kentucky.
Did you really?
I tried to do a cha-cha, and I do fish, and those are some of my other friends, and that's our former executive producer at the station I was at. So yeah, happy to be here.
Yeah, you're going to have a
Yeah.
lot of fun in Florida.
I've been progressively moving further south, so as I
Okay.
told you before, there's no excuse any longer
No.
for my golf game to be
He's a
average.
golfer, so we're going to make sure that you're out there.
More for the sport of it, though.
Okay.
But certainly looking forward to getting out on the Florida links.
Yeah.
Down here, yeah.
Weather-wise, though, if someone wants to go golf today, how's the weather looking?
Perfect. I mean, there's
Good.
hardly any wind, so the wind's not going to impact you if you're heading out for that. There's no chance of rain, no storms that could pop up. Also, if you're heading out to the farmer's market, coming up here at 10 o'clock in the morning, 71, 79 at noon, low 80s, 2 o'clock, just a slight breeze, 5 or so miles an hour. My big stories for you going forward. We've got delightful dew points today. It's nice with the humidity being in check. It was really humid the last few weeks with all that severe weather and the tornado outbreak about 10 days ago. A little lower than what's typical for the time of year, but hey, we will take it. Next thing for you to know about is the winds that will whip up as we go through this week. Starting Tuesday through the end of the week, take note of this if you work outside or you have any plans to be at the beach. The surf will get quite large, potentially 5-6 feet. Especially Wednesday, Thursday, northeast winds 20 to 25 or 30 miles an hour. Looking way ahead to Halloween, there are some signs we could get quite warm or even borderline hot. Whether we challenge the record of 91 from 2019 in Orlando remains to be seen, but the early outlook is pretty warm for Halloween weekend next weekend. If you're heading to the theme parks today, low to mid 80s, a few passing clouds. Don't forget the sunscreen. It's always a good thing to have, but not going to be 100% sunny today. Here's the hour-by-hour forecast through the area for the remainder of the afternoon. Pick the town out closest to you. I'll stop things here at 7 o'clock tonight. Notice 80 in DeLand, about 77 or so in the Villages, 75 in Melbourne, 75 in Cocoa. This is 7 o'clock tonight. A few passing clouds, but these clouds are really high, thin cirrus clouds, and those should cause what will be a spectacular sunset, I envision tonight, so get your cameras ready. Ian will be in tonight, I believe, so maybe if you have a photo, shoot them over to Ian. He'll show them tonight of the sunset. Tomorrow morning, 6 a.m., should be pretty great. Temperatures in the 60s. Monday looks good. Now notice the flow switches from right to left on your TV on this wall. So that's from the Atlantic across the state of Florida. A north to northeast wind starts to pick up Monday, but it's not really till Tuesday it really gets gusty, and these clouds will come in off the water. There's a small, teeny, tiny chance of a shower right along the coast, as is typical in this northeast flow, especially the northeast coast of Florida, but it's so small we don't have it in our forecast right now. And there you go. Here's 8 o'clock Monday evening. So the 7-day forecast going forward looks like this: 85 or so today, 85 or so on Monday. Again, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We've got those gusty winds northeast, 20 to 25 miles an hour, highs in the low 80s, pretty typical for the time of year. For right now, I don't see any chance of rain, but again, it does look like it'll get even warmer towards later next weekend as we head into what will be Halloween about 9-10 days out from now. Deborah.
I can't believe it's already Halloween. All right. Thanks, Noah. We have an update to a Fox 35 investigation for you this morning. The TSA says they are making changes after our stories aired about 2 families having issues at Orlando Sanford International Airport. So we've been asking the TSA for weeks, what is their protocol with this? Fox 35's Marley Capper brings us their response.
The first mother we introduced you to is Jessica Carter. She says after sharing her story, TSA reached out to her and assured her that they're working on fixing the problems that she experienced with TSA officers.
I feel really, really good about what's getting ready to take place.
After several phone calls and emails, Jessica Carter says she finally feels heard and that TSA told her they're taking action.
They actually recognized that there was actually a gap here at Sanford Airport.
We told you back in September, Jessica was traveling home after a wish trip to Disney World with her son. He's in a medical stroller. She says TSA forced her to take him out, and she had nowhere to put him while they inspected the stroller, So he ended up on the airport floor.
There's supposed to be a support specialist at every TSA station, or people are trained to be able to help passengers if they're having a hard time or to get them through the process easier.
But when Carter went through the Orlando Sanford International Airport, there was no specialist to help her. She says TSA told her
Sanford and 13 others, actually, smaller airports, had not implemented this in place.
But now they're ensuring her that training is happening. And TSA tells me all airports, including Sanford, will now have a dedicated passenger support specialist. Carter says it's an awesome feeling knowing she's helped create change.
Feels really good for the fact that I have fought for 6 years for my son for everything he's needed. And it's just like, for once, this actually might make a difference.
After Jessica's story, I met Amanda Groth. She had a similar situation while traveling to Disney World for a Make-A-Wish trip. I told her about what TSA said to Jessica. She's happy that change is being made, but is yet to have anyone from TSA call her to apologize or to give her an explanation.
I am glad that they are trying to rectify the situation, but it shouldn't have taken incidents in order for it to actually happen.
Jessica said she'd be willing to train these TSA agents by showing up to her local airport and practicing going through TSA security if it means that what happened to her and Amanda wouldn't happen to another family. Reporting in Sanford, Marley Capper, Fox 35 News.
And the time now is 9:21. We started looking into this situation after viewers reached out to us. So if you have a story and you want us to look into it, email us at fox35news@fox.com. We will get back to you. So just make sure you have your name and your phone number. Well, coming up on Good Day Orlando, a new record from the Space Coast to see the moment SpaceX made a history last night. Plus, the future of charter schools remains up in the air across the state, how a new rule aims to change the way these places operate. And before you head out today, let's save you some money. We love saving money, right? Here's the Fox 35 Pump Patrol today. Gas is $2.94 a gallon at the 7-Eleven on West Broad Street in Groveland. You can always head to our website, fox35orlando.com, for some more gas-saving tips. Time now is 9:21. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back.
3, 2, 1, mission liftoff.
There you go. From Fox 35 Mission Control, you are looking at a record-breaking launch from the Space Coast. SpaceX launched a Falcon 9 rocket with 23 Starlink satellites. This is the 58th mission out of the Cape this year, which beat last year's record of 57. And as you know, thousands of Starlink satellites are already in orbit, but experts say that could actually turn dangerous for us here on Earth because most space debris burns up during that re-entry. But according to the FAA, there's no guarantee that this will happen when it comes to those Starlink satellites. Space, as you know, is filling up with them, and experts say that this could become hazardous. So now scientists are using AI to try to find a solution.
3D modeling of these debris fields using machine learning and just vision. So it's going to happen on the spacecraft without any humans in the loop.
By 2035, the FAA thinks about 28,000 pieces of satellite could survive re-entry, meaning one person on Earth could be injured or killed every 2 years. Time now is 9:26 in the Fox 35 classroom today. Some members of the State Board of Education say that charter schools are now a real problem. But they do have a new plan for improvement. Last year, state lawmakers and Governor Ron DeSantis signed off on the creation of a Charter School Review Commission. The 7-member panel will consider charter school applications. Under the new rule, if the commission approves an application, the school board in that area would have to serve as the school sponsor.
This will reduce the burden and allow us to now be able to attract some of these operators to go into areas where there is high need.
Well, right now, school boards, state colleges, and universities can act as charter school sponsors, meaning they can authorize the schools to operate. Well, so to come on Good Day Orlando, a new program for teachers prepares to open in Florida, how it works and when you can get involved. Plus, the president sends a message to those stranded in Israel, what he's doing to bring them home safe. And we are also following some breaking news out of Kissimmee right now. A large law enforcement presence is spotted not far from the downtown area. We have a live report coming up right after the break. Time now is 9:27. We'll be right back.